So what are you doing?
I am trying to get on GTA.
You know what's annoying?
Hmm?
People blaming, like, games and shit for everything. Every problem that goes wrong in the entire fucking world.
Mm.
Like, now they're trying to blame fucking Twitter for the massacre that happened in Buffalo a couple days ago.
Yeah.
I just get
Everything's everything else's fault besides what it actually is.
like, right? There's one person who's to blame for that massacre, and that's the guy who killed all those people.
Exactly.
Nobody can make you fucking pick up a gun and shoot, like, 13 people. I'm sorry. Those are people get on my nerves. How do you think you're watching? I appreciate you.
Madam, what can I do for you?
It just gets old, you know?
It does.
And every generation is different, but it's the same. It's at first it was jazz is the devil's music, then it was rap is the devil's music, rock is the devil's music, Pokemon is the devil's music.
Hello.
Every time some new craze comes around, it's always that's the devil's doing. Gotta put the fear of God in ya. I remember when I was a kid, it was fucking Harry Potter.
Yeah.
It embraces witchcraft. Oh God! I can prevent your children from playing this game if you just give me a donation of $5.99. I hate people like that because they honestly make all Christianity look fucking stupid.
Yeah.
They're just
And
based,
then, like, the monsters are devil-based.
right? I remember one time they're like, oh yeah, you know Pokemon encourages witchcraft. I'm like, have you played Pokemon? And they summon spirits. Okay, I mean there is a ghost type of Pokemon, but it's not the same. Yeah, see, and it's not just GTA, by the way, that suffers that problem. We were talking about how they milk in GTA to death.
Yeah.
There's a lot of games that are doing that now. Like, it used to be, right, that if you liked a game and it sold really well, that you were guaranteed a sequel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nowadays, if you have a game and it sells well, it almost guarantees that you won't get a sequel because now they're just gonna fucking milk it to death. I mean, look, it's fucking Skyrim. That came out in fucking 2011. We're still waiting on the Elder Scrolls 6. Fucking Mario Kart 8 came out back in like 2012. It's literally been 10 years since we got another Mario Kart game. And they're still releasing. They just keep releasing more DLC for that. And the crazy thing about it is, right, is they're releasing a shit ton, they started releasing a shit ton of new DLC for Mario Kart 8, right?
Yeah.
And like they didn't for years because it came out originally on Wii U. And the Wii U is a great system. I love the Wii U. I have one. But it didn't sell very well, right? It was a financial disaster for Nintendo. So they ported a bunch of Wii U games over to the Switch because the Wii U didn't do very well. And so the games didn't do very well. And they thought, well, this is a chance for these games to do well again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I can understand that. It's like the game didn't sell well the first time. We can put it on a console that's doing well and hopefully it'll sell. And it worked. Like, a lot of games that were on the Wii U then came to Switch and sold crazy. So it made sense at first when they released Mario Kart 8 for Switch. But then people were like, hey, when are we going to get Mario Kart 9? When are we going to get Mario Kart 9? And now, they just revealed, was it a couple weeks ago? That they're going to be doing like a massive amount of new DLC, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like the game itself, right, has 48 tracks. And they're going to add 48 new tracks as DLC. And I mean, that's cool. Like, it's cool that they're adding that much content with DLC. But at the same time, it's like, if you're going to add enough content to make a new game, why didn't you just make Mario Kart 9?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're already making another game's worth of content. Fucking Lord knows when we're ever gonna get Mario Kart 9. Fucking Zelda, we're waiting forever for fucking Zelda. Are you excited for Hogwarts Legacy?
Yeah, I don't know when it's supposed to be coming out.
September.
Okay.
Honestly, honestly, it has the potential to be the best Harry Potter game ever. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry. I was concentrating.
No, like, it's okay. I mean, technically, it's not just Harry Potter. Technically, it's like Hogwarts, but I just say Harry Potter because it's easier to say that to people. Technically, this game takes place in the 50s. So this is about 40 years before, 40 years before Harry Potter was even born. But that's really cool because Harry Potter is such a wide universe. Not everything has to revolve around him personally. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
and we're getting to explore a massive Hogwarts, like a fully rendered Hogwarts. We're getting Hogsmeade Village. We're getting London, parts of London. We're getting the grounds outside of Hogwarts, because Hogwarts is out in the countryside. It looks really good because they actually did make some really good Harry Potter games before,
Yeah, they did.
Like, Harry Potter is not one of those series where it's like they never made a good game. There's actually quite a few good Harry Potter games that are worth playing. Hold on. But anyway, like, I grew up playing the Harry Potter games. A lot of them are really good. Like, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets is a fucking great game. Prisoner of Azkaban was a great game. I mean, if you're too busy to talk, it's fine. You know that, right?
No, you're fine. I'm just doing the game. Also trying not to wreck a car.
But no, I'm saying there's been a lot of really awesome Harry Potter games.
Yeah.
I grew up playing Chamber of Secrets, and I think that was a great fucking game. Prisoner of Azkaban was good. I didn't like the Goblet of Fire game as much because it went like top down, and there was like no exploring Hogwarts at all. It was basically like just the Triwizard Tournament and shit like that.
Yeah.
And I mean, don't get me wrong.
The one that you like, the movie that you like the best, of course, is the game's not good.
Yeah, I know, right? Exactly. Well, I mean, it's not just the movie. It's my favorite Harry Potter book as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, of course. It's not that the game is bad. I just didn't like it as much. Like, all the other Harry Potter games up to that point would let you explore the grounds and roam around Hogwarts. And they were behind the back. You know what I'm saying? Like, rotatable camera. And they were more about exploring the school, and the combat was kind of secondary. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
But Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, the game, was top down, over the head, and it was more about cooperatively playing with friends, and it was all about the combat, and you pretty much didn't explore the school at all. And I didn't like that as much. Because it was just like non-stop fighting. There was like no actual, like parkour. Or not parkour. There was no actual exploring Hogwarts. So, I mean, it wasn't a bad game by any means. It just still kind of was like, oh, okay, kind of not what I wanted.
Yeah, you would just want to be able to explore too, as well as do the regular game too.
Yeah, where it's like I said, it's just literally just you kind of combat. Like, and it sucks because they could have done both if they had enough time. Like, they could have done both. Like, you could explore the grounds, and then you would do the Triwizard Tournament in between. Like how the book was actually set up. And, yeah. Dude, I even have problems. With the fucking... with the movie. I think that oh, man. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire is one of my all-time favorite books. It is by far my favorite Harry Potter novel. And it is this huge... how do I even put it? It's like this radical fucking shift in Harry Potter. It is the halfway point of the series, but it is like the part where Harry Potter shifts into being a novel more for adults than for kids. Like, Harry Potter 1 and 2 were fairly lighthearted. Harry Potter 3 was a little bit darker, but it's still for young adults, you know what I'm saying? But Harry Potter 4, it gets really fucking dark and becomes way more mature. And it's because, well, I mean, Harry's 14, he's starting to actually go through puberty, like hardcore, so it kind of matches up with Harry becoming older as well. So it's a very big shift in the tone. And it's also kind of the moment where kind of things go past where they can't come back from. Like Harry Potter 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so I'm trying to. Harry Potter 1 and 2 had Voldemort pop up, right?
Yeah. No?
No, they did. Harry Potter 1 had Quirrell and had Voldemort in the back of his head.
Yeah, I remember that one.
And then Harry 2.
The second one, he was like a baby of some sort.
No, he wasn't a baby. He was in the diary. It was like a projection of his younger self
Okay.
in the Chamber of Secrets. So, in each time they defeated him, Voldemort wasn't able to fully gain form. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was severely weakened. And then Voldemort isn't even in Prisoner of Azkaban. I mean, he's not in Prisoner of Azkaban at all. In fact, The Prisoner of Azkaban is the only novel where Voldemort isn't in it in some way or another. So each time Voldemort tries to come back and then Harry stops him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In the Goblet of Fire, Voldemort comes back for fucking real. Like at full strength. Like he never left. And it's kind of like a holy shit moment. Because you realize, oh my god, Voldemort is actually fully back. There's no stopping this now. We're gearing up for another fucking war. And there's all kinds of cool parts. And on top of that, it's one of the only Harry Potter novels that gives you a really big glimpse into the wider wizarding world. Because like 90% of all the Harry Potter novels are set in Hogwarts, obviously. 90% of all the Harry Potter novels are set in Hogwarts, in and around Hogwarts, you know what I mean? And that's good, but they always hint about this larger world. And you don't ever really get to see that, though. Except in Goblet of Fire, you actually get to see people from other schools. And learn about the wider wizarding world besides Hogwarts. And on top of that, Harry actually has to learn some other fucking spells. Like, no, like it became almost like a recurring gag where it's like he used Stupefy too much to the point where Voldemort was able to identify him by him using fucking Stupefy.
Yeah.
And they even, like, you know, in the 7th book, they try to have all those, like, Harry decoys.
Yep, I remember that, yeah.
And they're like, which one? And then he can't Stupefy, and they're like, that's it, that's the one! And so he kind of over-relies on Stupefy. And But in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, he actually has to learn other fucking spells. Like he has to learn a spell to cast light above him for when he goes in the maze. He has to learn how to use Accio to precisely find where things are, and he has to use spells to cut vines and shit. So Harry has to actually use other fucking spells. And also, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire is the first Harry Potter to talk about the killing curse of Avada Kedavra. That is the first time they actually tell you what the killing curse is and how it works. And I just really like, the explanation of that, and that's also they explain what happened to Neville. The Goblet of Fire is the first game, or not game, sorry, the first book or movie to actually explain what happened to Neville's parents. And it kind of makes you have to reconsider Neville and have to rethink all this shit about Neville.
I think that's really brought Neville in better than what he was in before.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is like in the first couple books, he just seems like he's just a bumbling oaf. You know what I'm saying? And it's not until the Goblet of Fire when they're like, no, he has been through a lot of shit. His parents brutally murdered. Him having to grow up basically with his grandma. His mom is still technically alive, but she's brain dead. So he goes to see her every day, and she's still, she can't even talk to him. I mean, Neville goes through a lot of shit. And that, it really makes you see him in a different light, and it starts his transformation into something more. Because Neville, honestly, has got to be one of my favorite characters, because he really starts the series in one place and becomes a totally different person by the end.
Okay.
No, because, he's a bumbling oaf in the beginning, and then he becomes more sympathetic. But by the time the last book, he's a badass. He cuts fucking Narcini's head off.
Mm-hmm.
The snake?
Yeah.
Narcini?
Oh, yeah, I know.
He literally, and just that right away, you have to be a badass to summon the sword in the first place. But he just whoops that ass. Just fucks it up. And by the end, he's a badass. And it's, like I said, he just has such an awesome arc. But Goblet of Fire is, in my opinion, it's a great movie. It's a great book. But the movie is nowhere near as good as the book. And it also marked a shift in the faithfulness, because the first three Harry Potter movies were super close to the books. They were super accurate to the novels. Obviously they had to cut some stuff out because the movie can only fit so much into it. But they were faithful as shit. But in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, they cut out huge portions of the book from the movie. and they made radical fucking changes. And from that point forward, the movie stopped following the book so closely, and I don't like that. I'm of the opinion that if you're going to make a book into a movie, you need to follow the book as closely as possible.
Oh yeah, that's definite. That's like, it drives me crazy when they make a book and then they go and make the movie that's supposed to follow that book, but a lot of it is 10 times different.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying is the first 3 Harry Potter movies are very, very accurate to the books. And then the Goblet of Fire is way fucking different. And I don't like that as much. And after that, every subsequent movie was more and more away from the books. So, like, so I'm assuming you read the books or just watched the movies?
I am in the middle of reading the books because I just got them 6, 7 months ago.
Which book are you on?
I'm still in the first one. I haven't had a chance to actually sit down and read.
Okay. But anyway, okay, so oh my god, like I'm trying to buckle down and explain this to you.
Yeah.
But basically, if you watch the 4th movie, right? Yeah, you have seen the 4th movie, right?
Yeah, I've seen them all.
Okay. It begins with Harry waking up from his dream at the Quidditch tournament. Like he has that dream of Voldemort and Parseltongue, and then he wakes up. Okay, that's about 100 pages in to the 4th book. Okay, so in the very first 5 minutes of the movie, they've already skipped over and cut out 100 pages of the book.
Yep.
Okay, like the Dursleys, for instance, they're not in the Goblet of Fire movie. They're in the book. They just completely cut out the section before Harry left for Hogwarts. And then he goes to the Weasleys' house, and he meets their older brother, who, I mean, he does pop up later in the movies, but he pops up like right then in the Goblet of Fire, and then he goes to the Quidditch tournament, and they explain about the Quidditch tournament. They show them getting camping and getting set up. Like they show that they have tents that are much bigger on the inside than on the outside.
Yeah.
And then he goes to the first day of the tournament, and then he wakes up. I mean, so just like right off the fucking bat, they cut out like a fucking lot. And they just keep cutting out a lot. Like, okay, you know the Triwizard Tournament?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I'm sorry, I just killed one of my friends.
Alright. Alright, well, hold on a little bit. I'll be back. I have to leave. I have to do something.
You're good.
Okay, I'll be back.